What's up with y'all, my boys? Today, bro, reacting to Aikido versus Karate sparring. Now, I love to see when different martial arts platforms spar with each other, bro. It's interesting because you get to know, like, hey, is this useful? You know, what can this one beat this one? It puts a lot of things to bed, especially when both of the people are pros at it. Like, it's useful, bro. Another one I kind of want to see. I want to see Muay Thai versus kickboxing, because they're pretty similar. The only thing is Muay Thai, like a front kick in kickboxing is a teep in Muay Thai. Or, kickboxing, you got more versatile kicks, whereas Muay Thai, you have elbows and knees. So I want to see it like judo versus Brazilian jiu-jitsu. They're the same, or judo versus sambo. But we're gonna be watching Aikido versus karate. Judging from the last video I seen, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I got karate winning. But let me know who y'all got winning in the comments, bro. Let me see it.
When people learned that I'm going to meet with Jesse Enkamp, aka the Karate Nerd, most of you asked us to spar. I was very happy to hear Jesse.
Y'all already know, I got the bowl of chow with me. Let's do our reaction mukbang prayer.
Agreeing to do this, but we decided to make it more interesting. We decided to do a real Aikido versus Karate sparring. Interested to know what it is? Stay tuned for this martial arts journey.
What's up, karate? Oh, sure. It's your video, right?
Yeah,
okay.
no.
My bad. Okay,
Okay,
go ahead.
Let's rewind that a little bit. It all started when Jesse invited me to teach a functional Aikido session at his yearly Karate Nerd experience. The seminar happens in a different country each year. This time it was happening in Poland at a Japanese-themed village where Jesse and I met. Since many of you asked us to spar, I decided to do something special. I offered Jesse to do an Aikido versus Karate sparring, where I would be allowed to use only Aikido techniques that I've recently started to make functional during my BJJ training. Since most Aikido schools barely rely on striking, I've decided to use no strikes at all. Meanwhile, Jesse would be allowed to use his karate in any way he wishes.
So, it's really good to be here with you. What do you think is going to happen?
Oh,
Anything can happen. You could throw me.
Damn. So I know Aikido. I know they learn how to use katanas and stuff like that, like I said in my last video. But damn, he can't use any striking or nothing like that. That's why personally I think karate is gonna win, because yeah, Aikido has like takedowns and stuff like that, but from the looks of it, like I said, it's more passive, and you're gonna have to combine that with like others. You know what I mean? Karate can, from the looks of it, bro, it looks like you could do a lot with it just on its own. You know what I'm saying? I think karate's gonna win, bro. I don't see. Hey, I could be surprised. We're gonna find out.
Throw me on my ass, or I could kick your ass.
I as well, I'm not sure if it's going to work out, but there's the potential. So let's see.
Round 1. Fight!
To my surprise, I was owning the sparring. All of the Aikido techniques I've been trying to make functional worked. Or at least it would have worked if this was an Aikido video. The reality was somewhat different. I kept trying to close the distance and to get into a clinch, where functional Aikido, in my experience, works best at. But every time I tried it, Jesse masterfully moved out of my range. Meanwhile, he was chipping me away with punches and various kicks. I did my best to block his attacks and to time an opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't succeed even once.
So,
Damn, bro.
Distancing is really important. Want to be able to grab me, you need to get close, and that's a struggle.
I was even aiming for going to, catch you.
Yeah.
Going to a clinch area.
Yeah.
But you're so good at keeping the distance. Like as soon as I come here and I try to go for the clinch, you're you're already away. Now I'm thinking about the Aikido versus MMA first video. I was trying to.
That's
catch the
crazy.
arms, but at that time,
And you could tell it actually works too, because if you look inside the rings, or I said the rings. If you look at like the floor, they got little rings, little area, and they maintain the distance inside that area. So that's how you know, like, hey, bro, he's like, that's not working on him. But for the rest of the video, it seems like they're gonna go again. So we'll see what happens.
I was still panicky.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep away, and I couldn't do it. But at that moment, I thought it's because I can't receive a punch. That's why I can't do it. But here, I can receive the punch, but still, it's like it's just not there.
I noticed, well, you're not afraid of punches. So notice that you get very comfortable here. But then in order to grab me, you need to extend your arms. You can't have both.
I'm also thinking, this is a mistake I keep doing. I try to do Aikido on a BJJ black belt, and now you're like high-level karate black belt. I'm almost kind of setting myself up for failure, because you're very good at keeping distance.
The person who controls the distance controls the fight. The first thing you learn in karate is distance management.
Right. One of the things people say is like Aikido's great against untrained people, which, you know, it's a long debate if it is or not. But there's overcommitment.
Yeah.
There's stepping in. People tend to grapple like in a street fight. So that's maybe more favorable. You're really good at keeping distance.
And that's why so many boxers nowadays like win fights. And MMA fighters, UFC, they win fights, bro, because they keep that distance. They keep you away from them with that jab, like long arm boxers, like tall, lanky, long arm boxers, bro. They keep you away with that jab, you know, with their front kick. Front kick is like a jab for kicking in kickboxing. They keep you away with their front kick, you know. They keep you at bay, like with low roundhouse kicks, stuff like that, bro. And it's hard to get inside, bro. If they know how to maintain that distance, you're not gonna win the fight unless they make a mistake.
Using kicks, using strikes, and as soon as I go and try to grab, you're like,
that's why Creed was getting his
back out
ass
of it right away. So
smashed in that first fight versus Drago.
Trying to apply Aikido, but that's still good. That's a good experience. That's a good realization.
I then considered that if we would have limited space, it would potentially change the dynamics of the sparring. Unfortunately, we didn't have any soft walls to work with. Instead, we placed some focus mats to mark our limited area of sparring.
Round 2. Fight.
All right.
Despite of the smaller space, most of the sparring still looked the same. Eventually, I managed to get into a clinch. We ended up grappling and no Aikido came up. I managed to sweep Jesse at the end, but that was something I learned in BJJ and not Aikido.
Obviously, expectations were not like reality. They were somewhat different. There was a bit of a difference. I think, what occurred to me is there is that common line in Aikido that it's not designed for cage.
Sure.
Or like for fighting.
But neither is karate. It's designed for just self-defense, which is different to cage fighting or even street fighting. So I heard that the founder of Aikido, Morihei Ueshiba, said that Aikido is 90% striking. What is your opinion on that?
I think it's a great question, and it's kind of a confusing area because a lot of Aikido schools barely strike at all.
Yes.
But that makes much more sense. Even like in a fighting mode, we're striking each other, probably would be much easier to get into that mode where we're fighting, and then I could go for like something unexpected. Or if it's an untrained fighter or like an unexpected fight, a strike to the head makes the person wobbly, he doesn't know what's happening. And then I could go for a technique, for sure, I think. But then without strikes, again, like most Aikido schools train, probably even more hardly possible. Any tips?
I would stop Aikido.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
I was gonna say I would start karate, but you could do basically any martial art that incorporates more of these things that Aikido lack. But then again, Aikido was probably not designed for this anyway. So of course, if you want to force a square peg in a round hole, you got to make some adjustments. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on. It was an honor and a pleasure.
So the sparring is over and I am back in Warsaw. As I'm walking down these streets reflecting about my experience, I think Jesse described it best. It's like trying to squeeze in a square peg into a round hole. Still, I'm happy I've done it since I became even more aware of what's possible and what's not in functional martial arts. And as Coach Kavanagh puts it, you either win or you learn. If you're interested to see how I taught functional Aikido to karate practitioners, click on this video right here. If you want to see my full exchange and sparring with Jesse, click up here. Thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you to own your journey.
Honestly, dude, yeah, that's why, like, I never went for certain martial arts that other people told me to go for. First one I went for, bro, was the most basic of all, boxing, but it's so effective, bro, because you're learning how to use your hands, like, you're learning your punches. Then I went for kickboxing. I'm gonna go for others, but for now, I'm cool with what I got. I wouldn't mind learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu though for grapples and takedowns. That's nice. Yeah. I think this is due from the other video too. Aikido looks more like Aikido looks more like passive. Like I said, it don't look like something that you can use to like really like that guy Jesse. His karate, his knowledge of it, it looked like he could fend off like a few attackers, you know what I mean? I don't mean like 20, 30 people, but if he getting jumped like by like 3, 4, maybe 5 guys, it looked like he can, fend them off until like formulate time to escape or even beat them. You know what I'm saying? It don't look like you could do that with Aikido. That's all I gotta say, bro. You know what I mean? It don't look as it just looks passive. Mad passive. Which, hey bro, everything works differently. I knew karate was gonna win. Anyways, y'all, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.